payday is coming soon, right? About this month's remittance. Huh? This month, I'm going to raise the amount again. Wait a minute, Mom? Is this some kind of joke? If you raise the amount any higher, I won't be able to afford my own living expenses. What are you saying? It's only natural for children to send money to their parents. Yes, I understand that, and I'm still sending money, but can we talk about the amount? It's becoming unreasonable. By the way, is Dan still sending his remittance? Is it still the same amount, $1,500 every month? Of course, Dan is so successful, talented, and such a dutiful son. There's no way I'd burden him with more. Yeah, I shouldn't have asked. But listen, I can't increase it anymore. What? Like I said earlier, I really can't do it anymore. Even right now, I'm barely managing to make ends meet. If you push me further, I really won't be able to survive. Then just cut back on your expenses even more. It's as simple as that. If I cut back any more, I'll be living a life that's not even human. I'm barely living as it is, and you're asking me to scrape by even more? Then just work harder and earn more money. Do you even hear what you're saying? You're asking me to sacrifice everything just to increase the remittance, and for what reason? It's ridiculous. Don't you have any sense of duty towards your family? You left this house out of your selfishness, so it's only right that we decide the amount you send back. I left because I had no place in the house, not because I was being selfish. And let me remind you, I'm already sending you $3,500 every month. That's a huge amount. If you include Dan's contribution, it's a small fortune. Besides, isn't Dad receiving his pension starting this year, and didn't he get rehired after retirement? Well, yes, he's still working. So you're getting his pension and he's still earning a salary, right? And on top of that, you're asking me to increase the remittance? It's just you and Dad at home now. What kind of extravagant life are you living that justifies asking for more? I'd really love to hear an explanation of where all this $3,500 is going. Stop being so selfish. How am I being selfish? I'm not increasing the amount, period. It's already too much, and if you keep pushing, I might just lower it. What? How dare you talk back to your own mother like this? Can't you listen to your parents? Look, even if you are my parents, there are limits to what I can agree to. Don't you understand that? I can't just do everything you ask for without question. All right, I have said my piece. Bye. Wait, Ruth, come back here.
Ruth, is it true that you haven't sent this month's remittance yet?
Yeah, I haven't sent it.
Why not?
Because Mom made an unreasonable demand and I'm holding off until we resolve it. Once things are settled, I'll send the money.
But you promised that you'd send money every month when you moved out of the house. That was the condition, wasn't it? This is starting to look a bit selfish, don't you think?
Wait, are you going to ask me to increase the remittance like Mom did?
Well, yes, I think it's time you raised the amount. Honestly, I believe it would be a good opportunity for you to learn how to manage your finances more wisely.
What are you even talking about? Look, Dan can afford to send $1,500 a month because he runs his own company and earns over $100,000 a year. But my situation is totally different from his. I told Mom the same thing. If you expect me to send more, I won't be able to cover my own living costs. I'm seriously begging you, cut me some slack.
Ruth, what exactly do you do for a living?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I thought you were in a specialized profession with the potential for high earnings. But if you're telling me you can't survive after sending the little amount of money you do, I have to wonder, are you really working properly or are you just wasting your money carelessly?
What?
Given the current situation, it's hard not to think that. Look at Dan. He sends $1,500 every month without complaint. You, on the other hand, send a mere $100. Do you even respect your parents?
$100? Wait, what are you talking about?
Yes, $100. That's all you send, while Dan is sending 10 times that amount. What does that say about you?
Wait. What do you mean $100? I've been sending $3,500 every month.
$3,500? Are you serious?
Yes, 5 years ago when I first moved out, I was sending $1,000 a month. But then it kept increasing because of things like Mom saying she needed money for medical appointments or that she had to take out a loan to replace the car or that the electricity bills were too high. So little by little, the amount went up until about 6 months ago when it reached $3,500. All that time, I kept sending the money because I felt it was my duty after moving out, and I lived as frugally as possible to make it work. But recently, my coworkers started to notice how I was living, and one of them even scolded me, saying I need to think about my own financial limits. That was when I realized how absurd it had all become.
Ruth, I'm telling you, the fact remains that we've only received $100 from you.
I swear I have been sending $3,500.
Are you still saying that?
Of course I am. It's the truth, and I've been doing it for months now.
Don't lie to me. If what you're saying is true, then stop the payments.
Wait, stop them? What do you mean?
I'm saying if you're really sending that much, then stop. Let's see what happens.
Wait, are you seriously telling me I can stop sending money? You don't want me to reduce the amount, but just stop entirely? $0?
Yes, you think we can't survive without your remittance? We're not living in such poverty that we'd struggle if your money stopped coming in.
Oh, so that's how it is.
However, if you do stop sending money, don't even think about stepping foot back into this house. You'll no longer have a place in this family.
That's fine by me.
What?
I moved out 5 years ago with no intention of coming back. I started my own life, and if you're telling me I can stop the remittance, that's the best news I've heard in a long time. It's a huge relief.
Wait, Ruth!
Oh, and make sure to let Mom know, too. I'm done. Bye.
Why is she so happy?
Ruth, hurry up and send the remittance. For now, I'm fine with the usual $3,500. Just make sure you transfer it today. Huh? I'm not sending any more remittances. What? You can't do that! I'm in the middle of dealing with so many bills! The payment deadlines are coming up fast! Like I said, I'm not sending any more money. Are you really going to break the promise you made when you left the house? If you don't start sending money again, I'll bring you back home! Excuse me? If you want to continue living on your own, then send the remittance right now! And from next month, I expect you to send $4,000! Wait, Mom. Are you telling me not to come back home, or that you're going to force me to come back? Which is it exactly? I'm saying that if you stop sending money, I'll make you come back home. But Dad told me if you stop sending the remittance, we'll never let you set foot in this house again. What? He really said that? Yes, he told me that yesterday. So before you start giving me an ultimatum, how about you and Dad get on the same page? Look, even if I were to start sending money again, I'd prioritize my own life first. And if I do decide to send anything, the amount will be a lot less than what I've been giving you.
Hey, where are you?
Oh, Carter, I thought you were at work today.
I finished early because of some maintenance at the office building.
Oh, I see.
So where are you now?
I'm just out shopping a bit.
Come home without buying anything. I just checked the mailbox and we received a collection notice.
What? A collection notice?
Are you in debt?
Yes, but it's not what you think. I didn't mean for this to happen. I've been trying to manage my finances.
This is serious. How could you let it get to this point? You need to explain what's going on right now. Ruth, please, I need you to start sending the remittance again.
Huh? Dad? What's with the sudden request? I thought you said you wouldn't have any problems without my remittance.
Well, that's not quite the case. The other day I found multiple collection notices addressed to your mother.
Collection notices? What do you mean?
It seems she had been collecting the mail and hiding it before I could see it. They were right in the mailbox, but she made sure to keep them away from me.
So this means there's debt involved?
Yes, it's quite a significant amount, actually. We're talking about hundreds of thousands.
What? Are you serious? So my remittance of $3,500 has been going toward paying off that debt?
Apparently, that's exactly what was happening. They've been borrowing money and paying it off, only to borrow again. Your remittance was being used as a way to keep this cycle going. But now the amounts they've been borrowing have increased, and for various reasons, they've been asking for more money from you.
What about Dan? What's his remittance situation?
I double-checked with him earlier, and it turns out he was actually sending $2,000 instead of the $1,500 we thought.
Wow. So he's sending even more than we realized. That's still less than my $3,500, right?
Well, yes, but that's possibly due to how your mother feels about each of you. She's always had a soft spot for Dan.
Yeah, I know. Mom definitely dotes on him, but still, $2,000 is quite a lot. I guess that really shows how desperate they are for money right now.
From what I understand, of that $2,000, around $1,500 is purely for living expenses.
Right. So it sounds like they're really in a tough spot financially. But given everything, I think it's impossible for me to resume sending money at this point.
Wait, why do you say that? Don't you think we should find a way to help them?
First, we need to understand the reason behind their debts. I mean, what led them to this point? Why did Mom take out loans in the first place? And what has she been spending the money on?
That's a good point. We need to have a serious conversation with your mother about this. We can't just keep throwing money at the problem without knowing the full story. This cycle has to stop somewhere.
Exactly. I want to help them, but I can't just keep feeding into this without understanding what's going on. I also have my own finances to manage.
Right. And you should not be put in a position where you're sacrificing your stability for theirs. We need a plan.
Yes, we definitely need to get to the bottom of this. Once we talk to Mom, we can figure out what's truly needed and how to move forward from here.
Ruth, I want to apologize for the horrible things I said the other day.
Huh? Oh, you mean the conversation we had last time?
Yes, I know this sounds like an excuse, but I genuinely had no idea about your mother's debt. I had completely entrusted her with managing the household finances. I was led to believe that your remittance was only $100 and that Dan was sending $1,500. I took that at face value without questioning it. Then one day I happened to overhear your mother mumbling about the remittances, and without fully understanding the situation, I ended up complaining to you.
Okay, Dad, I appreciate your honesty. It's good to know you weren't fully aware of everything.
I truly am sorry for how I reacted.
Thank you for saying that. Now, do you have any idea what caused her debt? I've always thought she was a bit careless with money, but I never imagined it was serious enough to accumulate debt. What could have happened?
Well, it turns out she got really into hosting.
Hosting? You mean like she's been spending money on that?
Yes, apparently. From what I've gathered, she was doing more than just socializing. It seems she got heavily involved in that lifestyle.
Oh my God.
I truly believe this is going to lead to a divorce.
Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely a complicated situation. But Dad, how do you even handle something like that? A mother over 60 getting into debt from hosting? It's just so hard to process.
I know, it's rough, and honestly, it's painful to think about. I never thought we'd be in this situation. I've always believed we could get through anything as a family, but now it's like everything is unraveling. I feel a mix of anger and sorrow.
I get it. This is beyond just a financial issue. It's about trust and family. I can't believe she would put herself in this position at her age. It's just heartbreaking.
Exactly. It's not just about the money, it's about how it affects our family and her health. I worry about what this means for her future. How could she be so reckless?
It sounds like she was trying to fill some kind of void in her life, but she ended up making things worse. I mean, is this really the path she wanted to go down? It just seems so out of character for her.
I know, right? It makes me wonder what she's been feeling, or if she's going through something we didn't see. Maybe she's been feeling lonely or unfulfilled. Whatever the reason, it's clear she needs help, and we need to address this together.
Yes, we definitely need to have a serious discussion with her. I'm not sure how she'll react, but we need to confront this issue head on. It can't go on like this.
Agreed. Let's try to figure out a way to support her, but also make sure she understands the gravity of the situation. We can't just let this spiral further out of control.
Ruth, you've been living in this apartment, haven't you? Huh? Mom, what are you talking about? This apartment, room 105. What about it? I just ran into a resident from here, and they told me that ever since you moved out 2 months ago, that room has been empty. First, I want to know how you even found out about that room. I never told anyone my new address since I left home. When I went back to the house, I found a New Year's card addressed to Grandma. It had your old address on it. Oh, that card. I actually moved right after I sent that out. I plan to send Grandma a moving notice once I get settled in. Why would you choose to move out at this time? I was able to move to a more secure place because I no longer need to send remittances. It seemed like the right decision. So you came all the way here for what? That must have taken at least 2.5 hours on the fastest bus from your house. I got divorced from your father. Right after that, I returned home. But when Grandma found out the reason for the divorce, she declared that she never wanted to see me again. I heard your father went to Dan's place, and as for that host boyfriend of mine, well, he dumped me. Wait, are you saying you have no choice but to come live with me? I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I don't have any other options. No way, you're joking, right? Why would you think that? I already know why you got divorced. What do you mean? Who told you? Well, it's not like it's a secret. It's about the debts, your obsession with those hosts, and finally, the infidelity, right? Just the thought of having a mother who lives like that makes my skin crawl. I can't possibly live with you. Ruth, please! Think about everything I've done for you while raising you. I thought we could live together again as a way to repay that. You lied to Dad about how much I send home every month. I know you've been secretly borrowing money and making those payments behind my back. I don't want to be dragged into any more of your messes, all right? Ruth, about your new address. I'm not telling you. Wait a minute. Goodbye. What on earth is she thinking? I truly cannot understand my mother's thought process. To be honest, I don't even want to understand it. After all, she failed to come to me for help, and now, because of that, she really has no place to go. For several days, she's been wandering around the nearby park, seemingly lost and without direction. While I was searching for her, I was approached by a group who had apparently been looking for her too. Before I knew it, they took me along with them, and I felt an odd sense of connection with these strangers, united by our concern for someone who had once been a central figure in my life. The days turned into an agonizing blur as I tried to piece together my mother's whereabouts. I could picture her in the park, sitting on a bench, staring off into the distance, seemingly lost in thought. I imagined her mind racing with all the burdens she carried. Is she reminiscing about better times or contemplating her next move? It's troubling to consider that her situation could spiral even further into despair. I remember the times when she was a vibrant part of my life, full of laughter and warmth. Those memories felt like a distant dream now. The thought of her aimlessly wandering without purpose gnawed at my insides. I had always assumed she would reach out if she needed help, but her silence spoke volumes about her state of mind. Was it pride, shame, or something else that kept her from turning to me? Days later, I encountered a group of people who seemed genuinely concerned about her. They approached me, asking questions about her whereabouts. Their faces were a mix of worry and sympathy, and I felt a strange kinship with them, despite not knowing them. It struck me how many lives my mother had touched, and yet she was now isolated and alone. They led me to a cafe nearby where we sat down to discuss what we knew. I learned that this group had been trying to find her for a while. They recounted stories of their encounters with her, how she would often sit alone, engaging in conversations with strangers, offering her insights on life, and sometimes sharing bits of her own struggles. I listened intently, taking in every detail, feeling both comforted and alarmed by the kindness of these people. As they spoke, I felt my own frustration bubbling to the surface. I should have been the one helping her, not these strangers. It was disheartening to realize how disconnected I had become from her reality. Perhaps I had been so consumed by my own life that I overlooked the signs of her distress. It dawned on me that I should have done more to reach out and check on her. How could I have let her fall through the cracks like this? One of the individuals in the group shared how they had seen my mother around the park, often appearing lost or withdrawn. Their words painted a picture of a woman who was not just my mother, but a person struggling to maintain her sense of self amidst a storm of challenges. Each story reinforced my commitment to find her and help her find her way back to stability. After several exhausting days of searching, I received an unexpected call from a friend of my mother's. He mentioned that there had been some unusual activity in his bank account. A deposit made by my mother. I felt a mixture of relief and dread wash over me. On one hand, it seemed she was still alive and functioning in some capacity, but on the other hand, it meant she was still entangled in a web of debt. The knowledge that she was engaging in financial transactions, even if they were questionable, added another layer to my concern. I shared this news with my father and brother, a reunion of sorts after years of silence. It was awkward at first, with so much unspoken tension hanging in the air. However, as we began discussing our mother, an unexpected warmth began to surface around us. We reminisced about the good times, family gatherings, birthdays, and the laughter we shared. Those memories felt bittersweet, contrasting sharply with the current reality we faced. My father, with his furrowed brow, spoke up first. "I always thought she would find her way back. She's a strong woman, but lately, it feels like she's lost her way." My brother chimed in, his voice laced with concern. "We need to figure out what's going on with her. This can't go on. She can't keep living like this." I nodded in agreement, feeling a surge of determination. We all knew we had to do something, but what? As we talked, an unspoken understanding began to form between us. We recognized that it was time to mend the frayed bonds of our family. The weight of our collective worry about our mother pulled us closer together. We realized that we needed to support each other through this challenging period, despite the long-standing distance and silence. My brother looked at both my father and me and said, "We should make it a point to check in on each other. Even just a simple text now and then would mean a lot." My father nodded in agreement, his expression softening. "You're right. Life is too short to be distant. We need to look out for each other, especially now." With that renewed commitment, we made a pact to stay in touch. It felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. We were no longer alone in this struggle. The tension that had once filled the room gradually dissipated, replaced by a shared sense of purpose. Dan, who had been quietly listening to our conversation, chimed in with a brilliant idea. "Why don't we create a family group chat? It'll be a fun way to share updates and keep each other in the loop." His suggestion sparked a sense of excitement among us. It felt like a fresh start, a small yet significant step towards reestablishing our family ties. We quickly set up the group chat, each of us sharing our contact information and a few lighthearted messages to break the ice. As the messages flowed in, I felt a renewed sense of hope. Perhaps this was exactly what we needed, a way to connect without the heaviness of our current situation overshadowing everything. We could share photos, jokes, and everyday moments, creating new memories even amidst the chaos. I left the meeting with my father and brother feeling lighter. Despite the gravity of our mother's circumstances, I had hope that we could find a way to support her together. I realized that family didn't have to be perfect, it just had to be there for one another in times of need. In the following weeks, we kept the group chat active, sharing snippets of our lives and encouraging one another to stay connected. I felt a sense of belonging that I hadn't experienced in a long time. Even though my mother remained elusive, I took comfort in the knowledge that I was not alone in the struggle. Then one day I received a message from my brother. He had managed to track down one of our mother's acquaintances. "I spoke with someone who said they saw her last week," he wrote. "They said she seemed okay, just a bit withdrawn. It's not much, but it's something." I felt a surge of hope. It was reassuring to know that she was alive and, at least outwardly, appeared to be fine. But my heart still ached for her. I couldn't shake the feeling that she was in over her head, struggling with demons we couldn't see. As the weeks turned into months, our family dynamics began to shift. We made an effort to reconnect, sharing not just our concerns about our mother, but also celebrating the milestones in our lives. Birthdays and anniversaries became occasions for us to come together, even if virtually. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Troy! I need you to speed up the delivery of the parts I ordered the other day by a week. Thank you for your ongoing support, David. You're asking about the delivery timeline, I see? It's not a request, it's an order. It's a decision that's already been made. I sincerely apologize, but at this point, we've set the delivery schedule at the very limit of production capacity due to the preferences of our headquarters. I will talk to the production team, but there's a high possibility that we won't be able to meet your expectations. I told you that moving the delivery date up is a decision that's already been made. You're in a position where you're receiving work from us, so don't argue with me. As much as I would like to comply, the reality is that any further shortening of the delivery timeline will lead to increased overtime for our employees, which in turn raises our costs. Normally, this would mean we would have to charge a special expedited fee. Moreover, having to move it up by a week at this point is unrealistic in terms of our schedule. Just do it at the regular rate. We have a budget to stick to as well. I'm not going to pay any more than I already have. Of course, I expect you to move the delivery date up according to our wishes. If that's the case, I'm truly sorry, but we still won't be able to meet your request. What did you say? Your company, E Corporation, has had a history of unreasonable delivery demands, and we're hearing more and more voices from the production team expressing that they are reaching their physical and mental limits. As for pricing, we've already driven it down to the very edge, and to be frank, the current situation is far from what we would consider a fair price. Isn't it your responsibility as a subcontractor to manage that? Everything has its limits. Our president has advised me that if we're asked for anything more unreasonable, I'm free to decline outright, so please take my response as aligned with our company's policy. You think a fourth-rate company like yours can talk back to me? Fourth-rate? This is the consequence of defying me, the sales manager of the industry's #1 company. What will you do about the order you've placed with us at this point? Cancel it. We'll consider the contract finished with last month's order. I see. If that's the case, I'll proceed as you stated. Please send me a formal notice of contract termination via certified mail later. What a hassle. It would be problematic for both of us to get into a dispute later about what was or wasn't said. From a business perspective, it's strange to terminate a contract based solely on a message, so I'd appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Fine, I get it. As the sales manager of the leading company in our industry, I can't help but feel a bit aggrieved. I have a responsibility to uphold standards both for my team and the clients we serve. We take pride in our ability to meet demands, but sometimes those demands can be excessively burdensome. It's frustrating to deal with clients who seem oblivious to the pressures on our end. Troy, while I understand you're trying to do your job, this is simply unacceptable. You cannot expect us to operate under these constraints without any consideration for our well-being. I know it's a tough situation, but my hands are tied. I have to stick to our internal guidelines and the limits that have been set. We can't sacrifice our employees' health for a hasty timeline. If we push them too hard, we risk quality and output. This isn't just about you, David. It affects us as well. If I don't meet my clients' demands, I risk losing my job. It's a competitive environment, and every decision counts. I have quotas to meet, and I can't afford to let anyone down. I get that, but what you need to understand is that I have a duty to my team as well. They work hard, and they deserve to be respected. Pressuring them beyond their limits only leads to burnout and dissatisfaction. We can't have that if we want to maintain a healthy work environment. Sure, but you have to look at the bigger picture. The business relies on us to meet deadlines, and if we don't, there are consequences. I don't want to be the one to break the bad news to my superiors. I can appreciate your position, but it's a two-way street. We need to come to a compromise that respects both parties involved. What about discussing a middle ground where we can still meet your needs without compromising our integrity? A middle ground, huh? What do you suggest? How about we look into adjusting the timeline slightly while still maintaining quality? I can push the team to see what they can do, but it'll require an understanding on your part that this is a shared effort. I'm willing to listen. What do you have in mind? Let's explore a few options. I can approach production and see if they can expedite certain parts of the process without sacrificing the end product. We can work together to find solutions that don't put either of us in a tough spot. All right, I'll give you that. I want to be on good terms, but it has to be clear that the expectations are realistic. Absolutely. I assure you that we want to maintain our relationship, but it has to be built on mutual respect and understanding. This could lead to more business down the line if we can prove our capabilities without overextending ourselves. Agreed. I appreciate your willingness to cooperate, and I hope we can reach a solution that benefits both sides. Hello, Sam. I hope you're doing well. I understand that you're currently on the bus, so I apologize for reaching out via message at this time.
Thank you for your message, Troy. I appreciate your consideration.
I'm writing to inform you that the prototype of the new part you requested has been completed, and I'd like to ask for your confirmation on it.
Wow, it's already done? That was impressively quick. You finished it a week earlier than scheduled.
Thank you very much. I believe a significant factor in this speedy completion is that the part you requested follows standard specifications. Fortunately, we had a similar case on file that we could refer to, which helped us streamline the process and create the prototype efficiently.
Are you perhaps referring to the situation with E Corporation?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up abruptly.
No worries. I understand that this is a more casual topic. Maybe we can discuss it more during your lunch break when you have some private time to chat.
Yes, that sounds good.
Regarding the prototype, I'll consult with my supervisor and then get back to you with a date for when I can visit your office to discuss everything in detail.
Understood. I look forward to hearing from you. For now, I'll let you go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and I appreciate your help.
Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Sam. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you still on the bus?
Yes, Troy. I was just continuing our previous conversation.
Oh, right. You were about to mention something regarding E Corporation, right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to discuss. Just a few days ago, it seems they got into a bit of trouble with a new business partner.
Oh? What happened?
After they stopped doing business with your company, they tried to request the same parts from a factory in the neighboring town. However, they were quoted a ridiculously high price, and on top of that, the salesperson from E Corporation was incredibly condescending. He said something along the lines of, you should feel grateful that a low-tier town factory like yours can contract with an industry-leading company like ours. Apparently, they asked him to leave immediately after that.
Wow, that sounds really familiar. The words seem to have a strong sense of déjà vu.
They've had similar issues when consulting with other companies, and it seems that the production of necessary parts is still halted. As a result, they're facing delays in delivering their final products.
You know, it could very well be the same salesperson who was handling our accounts.
I had a feeling that might be the case. Every time something came up, he'd proudly proclaim, "I am the sales manager of the industry's #1 company."
What a character. By the way, I should mention that our company, A Corporation, actually took over that title a few years ago.
Oh, right. I remember that now. So with all of this happening, it seems that word of their blunders has spread to our company. It might come crawling back to you soon, begging to resume business.
Got it. I'll stay vigilant just in case. Thanks for the heads up.
Of course. If the information is useful, then that's all I need. Oh, by the way, my dad mentioned that he wants to play shogi with you again.
Oh, really?
He's all fired up and said he's definitely going to win this time.
Please, tell him to go easy on me.
Consider it done. Plus, the preparations for our wedding are nearing the final stages, and we've just finalized the contract for our new home. There's so much to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Troy! Long time no see, David. I need to discuss some changes to our transaction details. It's a holiday today, you know. Just listen! The parts scheduled for delivery were supposed to be just the ones from the contract we had 2 months ago, but I've decided that we're going to continue our business relationship after all. As I recall, you placed an order for 1 month's worth of parts at the time the contract was terminated, so I want those delivered based on that order. However, the president has ordered that this already ordered batch of parts must be delivered now. As a special consideration, I'm gonna give you a slightly adjusted price just for this month. What is it? I'm in a hurry. We've terminated our business relationship with E Corporation, so unless we sign a new contract and place a new order, we can't accommodate your delivery request. Hey, I told you, it's a presidential order. The president you're referring to is not our company's president. This is an order from the #1 company in the industry, allowing you low-tier companies to resume transactions with us. What choice do you have to refuse? We only have the option to refuse, actually. What did you say? Hey, Troy, are you seriously saying that? You know that if we stop doing business with you, your sales will plummet, right? Do you understand that this could lead to a critical situation for your company, potentially even bankruptcy? That's not a problem at all. In fact, we began our business relationship with A Corporation, the real #1 in the industry, 2 years ago. Huh? A Corporation? That's our rival company. That's right. We're working with that rival at 5 times the price, so restarting our contract with you at the previous price is, frankly, impossible due to our commitments with other clients. Wait, 5 times? Isn't that just outrageous? I can only share what I can, but the costs for the new parts we're getting from A Corporation are almost the same as the ones we use to supply to you. And yet you say it's 5 times? Let me clarify. In general terms, this 5 times is actually the fair market price. Could it be that you're not getting any takers anywhere else because... Yes, indeed. I want to make this clear. The issue has been your unreasonable pricing strategy, and I think you need to acknowledge that. Also, I believe your arrogant attitude has been a significant problem. That's just not right! Given that I've made promises to the president, I need to have our transactions resume at the original price. Otherwise, I'll be in a tight spot. That's impossible. Come on, can't you make this work somehow? Impossible. Please, I'm begging you, work with me here. Impossible. Troy, come on, we have a history, don't we? I don't know what kind of history you think we have, but it's impossible. Troy! It's impossible. I'm preparing to go out for a late movie with my fiancé, so I'll take my leave now. Huh? Your fiancé? Yes, it's someone from one of our client companies. During our work together, we developed a romantic relationship. You're not trying to brag about that, are you? Right now, your priority should be me, not your fiancé. Of course, my fiancé takes precedence. What? Well, then, I must take my leave. Troy! Sam, you're already on your way out, right?
Yeah, I just got on the bus at A-Town Station.
Great. I wanted to chat with you quickly before you reach your destination. There's something important I wanted to bring up. I received a message today from that sales rep at E Company, the one who contacted us a while ago. Remember him?
Wait, are you talking about the guy who claims to work for the industry's #1 company? You mean the same person that we had that huge issue with?
Exactly. It seems he's not only unprofessional, but also completely out of touch with reality. He was shocked when I explained what the proper pricing should be for the new contract, especially compared to the extremely low prices they were used to setting with us in the past.
Wow, are you serious? How could he not know basic pricing information? That's sales 101. I can't believe how incompetent someone at that level could be.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. He seemed completely unprepared to handle actual business negotiations, almost like he was expecting us to simply accept the same deal we used to have.
Didn't we already explain to them that those ridiculous prices were no longer sustainable? It wasn't just a suggestion. We made it clear that we couldn't continue like that.
We did, and that's what makes it even stranger. It's like he thought we were bluffing or something. He seemed genuinely surprised when we stuck to our terms and didn't budge on the pricing. And now it looks like they're scrambling to find other suppliers because nobody wants to deal with them under those conditions.
Well, I guess it's not entirely surprising. If they've been lowballing every supplier like they did with us, it's only a matter of time before they run into trouble. What did he say exactly? Was he trying to get us to agree to the same terms again?
Pretty much. He tried to play the same card, saying they were still number one in the industry and that we should be grateful for the opportunity to work with them. It was pretty laughable, honestly.
You've got to be kidding me. Do they really think anyone still buys that line? Even if they were the top company, which I don't believe they are anymore, that doesn't give them the right to dictate unfair prices to everyone they deal with.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. He didn't just stop at asking for the same deal. He tried to sweeten the pot by offering to continue our partnership if we met their deadline on the current order. Like we're supposed to be so grateful for their business that we'd just jump at the chance to keep working with them.
Wow, so they really don't get it. They're acting like they're doing us a favor by continuing the deal, even though it's not profitable for us in the first place. It's no wonder they're having such a hard time finding suppliers to work with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening. It's funny because one of the former employees at E Company who transferred over to A Company told me that this kind of arrogant attitude isn't new. Apparently, it started because of personal ties between the previous presidents of both companies. They used those connections to get away with this kind of thing for years, but now it's all catching up with them.
That actually makes a lot of sense. They were probably relying on these personal relationships to keep the deals going, even though the business side of things wasn't sustainable. But you can only push people so far before they start looking for better options.
Exactly. And honestly, I think the new leadership over there is trying to clean up the mess. Maybe that's why they're so desperate to keep the old deals going, even though it's obvious that they can't operate that way anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in panic mode. But still, they should know that we're not going to fall for those tactics again.
For sure. That's why we're sticking to our terms and letting them know that we can't continue the partnership under those conditions. I think they were expecting us to cave, but when they realized we wouldn't, they got desperate.
Well, good for you for holding firm. I know it's tough sometimes, but you have to do what's right for the company, not just for short-term gain. If they want to keep working with us, they need to meet us halfway, not just dictate terms like they have in the past.
Exactly. And I think this situation is going to be a wake-up call for them. They can't keep treating suppliers like this and expect everyone to just go along with it. Eventually, they'll have to adjust or they'll lose out entirely.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be interesting to see how they respond when they realize they can't find anyone else willing to work with them under those conditions. Hopefully, they'll learn from this and start treating their partners with the respect they deserve.
I hope so too. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent about this. It's been a frustrating situation, but I feel better now that we're sticking to our guns.
No problem at all. I'm glad we talked about it. It's always good to hear how things are going on your end.
In the end, E Corporation was unable to secure a new business partner to replace our company. As a result, they faced significant challenges, particularly in delivering their products on time. The inability to meet their obligations meant that deadlines were missed, and the consequences of that failure were severe for the entire company. David, who was the primary contact for this issue, was held responsible for the fallout. Due to this failure, he faced not only a demotion but also a salary reduction. It was a harsh punishment, and he was effectively sidelined from his previous role in what could be described as a triple whammy: demotion, decreased pay, and a transfer to a less desirable position. This was undoubtedly a significant blow to his career and reputation. The president of E Corporation, realizing the gravity of the situation, also stepped forward to apologize. He took responsibility for the company's delay in understanding and addressing the issues that had arisen. As the head of the company, it was his duty to ensure everything ran smoothly, and he acknowledged that they had fallen short in this instance. His public acknowledgement of the failure was meant to reassure both employees and clients that they were aware of the problems and were committed to resolving them. Despite the setbacks, E Corporation is still a reasonably large and well-established company. Thankfully, they managed to avoid a crisis that could have spiraled into bankruptcy. The situation could have been much worse, potentially leading to layoffs and financial ruin for many employees. Fortunately, it appears that no one ended up in dire straits as a result of this particular incident, which was a relief for the employees who relied on their jobs to support their families. However, about a month after the initial incident, new developments emerged. It seems that David, in his new position after being transferred, made some sort of mistake that led to further complications. The details of what happened are somewhat murky, but the end result was clear. He was ultimately let go from the company altogether. This termination not only ended his employment, but also had a lasting impact on his career trajectory. Now, David is in a precarious situation. He appears to be holed up alone in his apartment, unemployed, and likely feeling the weight of his circumstances. The transition from a relatively stable career to this position of uncertainty has undoubtedly taken a toll on him. Given that he's probably behind on rent payments, it's likely just a matter of time before he faces eviction. The combination of his job loss and financial troubles has put him in a difficult position, leaving him to navigate the challenges of unemployment and potential homelessness. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Tony? Hey, Tony, do you have a moment? I've tried to be mindful of the time difference before reaching out.
Oh, Lydia. Hey, Lydia, you're good. This is actually a perfect time to chat. Your timing is spot on.
Is that so? Great!
Something on your mind?
I was wondering when your next trip back to the US might be.
Huh?
I know your overseas assignment is supposed to be for a year, but you mentioned you might be able to make a short visit back, right? It's almost Easter over here, so I was thinking, how's that looking on your end? Do you have any holidays coming up around that time?
Well, around Easter, we don't really have any extended holidays on this side.
Oh, I see. I figured that might be the case. So in other words, you don't know exactly when you'll be able to come back at this point, right?
Well, yeah, but the work environment here is pretty flexible, and it's easier for me to take long vacations if I need to. When the time comes, I'll definitely let you know ahead of time.
So if I don't hear from you beforehand, I should assume you're not coming back for a visit anytime soon, right?
Why so sudden?
Huh?
It's been about 6 months since I moved overseas for work, and this is the first time you've asked me something like that.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I didn't mean anything deep by it.
Really?
Yeah, I have something I need to take care of, so I'll catch you later.
Wait, how's Mia doing?
Oh, she's doing great, really, but I've got to run, so talk soon.
Okay.
Tony, do you have a moment?
Huh? Mom, is that you?
I wasn't sure about the time difference over there, so I thought I'd just try texting.
At this time, it's no problem at all.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, I'll just continue then.
Yeah, what's going on?
So earlier today, Mia came over to my house.
What? Mia came over?
Yes, she walked over all by herself. It seems it rained on her the way here. She must have found some shelter from the rain, but I don't think she could avoid stepping into puddles. By the time she reached my place, her shoes and socks were completely soaked.
Wait, hold on a second. From my house to yours, that's over 3 miles, right? You're telling me that a 5-year-old girl walked that entire distance in the rain, no less? Sure, the route is pretty straightforward once you hit the main road, just a straight shot from there, but still, what on earth happened? And where the hell is Lydia in all this? She usually works part-time during the weekdays, right? On Sundays, she should be at home. At least that's the assumption. There's no way Mia's mother, Lydia, hasn't realized her own daughter's gone missing from the house, right?
I thought the same thing, so I tried calling Lydia's cell phone, but either it's turned off or something because I couldn't get through at all. I even tried calling your landline, but no one picked up there either.
Is that so? Did you try contacting Lydia's parents' house?
Not yet. I didn't want to make a big fuss about it without having more information. I thought it would be best to talk to you first, since you're Mia's father.
I see. Got it. Did Mia herself say anything about what happened?
Well, here's the thing. She keeps saying, I'm not supposed to tell. Mama told me not to, and she's been crying the whole time. I tried calming her down with some warm milk, but she fell asleep right after that, so I haven't been able to get any more out of her.
I see. In that case, it's probably best not to press her for more right now. Thanks for taking care of her, by the way.
Oh, it's nothing. She's my precious granddaughter, after all.
So, sorry to impose, but today's the start of a 2-day holiday there in the U.S., right? Would it be okay for you to watch Mia at your place during the holiday?
Of course, that's no problem at all.
Actually, the truth is, I'm coming back to the U.S. in 2 days.
Oh, is that so?
By the time I arrive, I should have figured out more of the situation. I'll explain everything to you then. Oh, and please don't tell anyone about me coming back.
Not even Mia?
Sorry, but yes. I can't rule out the possibility that Lydia might try to get in touch without us knowing.
Is there something you're suspecting?
Well, yeah. It's not something concrete just yet, so I'd rather not go into too many details right now. But I think she's cheating on me.
Cheating? Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't have solid evidence yet, but her recent behavior has been really suspicious. She's been hiding her phone a lot, avoiding eye contact with me. I've been pretending not to notice, but I'm at my limit now.
Maybe Mia's picked up on that too.
That's possible, but if that's the case, I really don't want to ask Mia about it directly. Her mother's still important to her, and I don't want to put any more emotional stress on her than she's already dealing with.
You're right, that's the best approach.
In any case, please take care of Mia until I get back. If anything changes or there are any developments, please let me know right away.
Of course.
Thanks, Mom. I'll be in touch later.
Got it. Take care of yourself, okay?
Lydia, do you have a moment?
Oh, Tony, is that you?
I don't really have anything urgent to discuss, but I had some free time, so I thought I'd check in and see how you're doing. Are you doing well?
Yes, I'm doing great. Mia and I are having a lot of fun together.
That's good to hear.
How about you? How's life overseas treating you? I remember you mentioning that there was a famous tourist spot nearby. Have you had a chance to visit it yet?
Not yet. This first year of my assignment, I really need to focus on settling in and getting used to the new environment, so it's been a bit challenging to find the time.
I see.
So what are you up to right now?
Huh? Right now? I was just watching TV with Mia.
Oh, I see. You're spending time with Mia then.
Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot. I need to go shopping. Mia requested soup for dinner, but I realized we don't have the essential eggs.
So dinner is Mia's request, huh?
Yes, anyway, I've got to run. Talk to you later.
Sure, take care. Talk soon. Mom, I'm back in the U.S.
Welcome home, Tony.
Thank you. Feels good to be back.
So you're coming straight here instead of going home, right?
Yeah, sorry about that, but I'll be relying on you for a bit. By the way, Mia has been with you this whole time, right?
Yes, she has. Today's the last day of the 2-day holiday, but she's been at my house the entire time.
So that means Lydia has been lying after all. I texted her earlier asking how's Mia, and she replied that they're spending time together at home.
I see.
There hasn't been any sign that she's worried about Mia being gone. I wonder what she's thinking. In any case, I'll tell you everything I know when I get back. Right now, I'm on the bus. I'm gonna stop by the private investigator I hired to hear their report on the way home. I think I'll arrive at your place in the evening.
Got it. Oh, please take care. Daddy? Dad?
Wait, Dad? This is a message from Lydia.
Daddy, it's Mia.
Mia!
Listen, Dad. Mom's wallet is empty and I haven't eaten anything for 5 days. Dad and Mom have been fighting in bed the whole time and it's really scary.
Huh?
You and Mom live apart and now you're not in America right now, right? Why are you fighting in bed for so long?
Well,
Mom told me to call her friend. So is the person with Mom a fake dad? Dad, help me.
Huh? Who are you?
Huh?
Did you think you wouldn't be found out just because I'm overseas? You might think you're fooling me with this nonsense as a 5-year-old, but don't underestimate me.
Dad?
You see, the real Mia is here with me right now.
What?
So who are you?
Well,
I guess I don't need to ask. You're Lydia, aren't you?
No, it's not.
You're sending messages pretending to be my daughter from your own phone, aren't you?
Huh? What?
By the way, you said Mia is with you? I didn't mention it, but I'm back in the U.S. temporarily.
What?
The message I received yesterday was just after I arrived back home.
Why did you come back? What about work?
I have a meeting at the headquarters after the holiday. I thought I'd take advantage of this temporary return to expose your affair.
What?
Ideally, I want to get you to sign the divorce papers and move towards claiming alimony.
Wait, why?
Mia finally told me that she was told to call some strange man Dad. When she refused, they kicked her out of the house, telling her to go to Grandma's and not come back during the holiday.
Grandma's place?
Did you think she would go to your mother's house? Unfortunately, Mia showed up at my mother's house.
What?
When I checked with your mother, it turns out she's currently on a trip with her friends. So Mia made the judgment to walk the 3 miles to my mother's house, who's her other grandmother.
Wait, how do you know all of this? Why do you know about Mia's whereabouts and your affair when you just got back?
Why would I not know?
Because...
That area is my hometown, you know. I have friends, relatives, and neighbors I've known since my parents' generation. Do you have any idea how many people I know?
Huh? But isn't your family home?
Are you misunderstanding something? My mom currently lives alone in an apartment about 3 miles away from her job. But 10 years ago, before my dad passed away, the 3 of us lived in a rental apartment near my childhood home.
No way.
Oh, by the way, it's too late to try to escape with the affair partner you brought in.
What?
Your father, my uncle, and his wife, and the affair partner's wife are all waiting in front of my house.
No way!
And me too. I just arrived.
No way! You weren't with Mia?
I was with her until a moment ago. I was messaging you while taking a taxi here, so now I left her with my mom.
What is that?
Well, time to storm your affair scene.
Wait! I don't want custody.
Huh?
I'll give you Mia's custody.
Seriously? You're being so nonchalant about it, especially after how panicked you were yesterday when they barged in on you.
Well, of course I was shocked. I mean, they launched such a surprise attack. But nothing really happened, right? You're acting like it was some huge disaster.
Sure, whatever. So you're saying I can take custody of Mia?
Yeah, I don't want it, so you can have it. You probably figured out that I was pretending to be a disinterested mother so I could give up custody for the sake of remarrying him, right?
Yeah, I figured that out. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through the trouble of pretending to be Mia and sending those messages that made it sound like Mom is terrible. That was quite a bold move you pulled, I have to admit.
This was actually my mom's idea, you know? She really pushed me to do it.
Ah, so you and your mom are in cahoots. That makes sense.
Exactly. Since my affair partner has a high income, we're working under the assumption that he will be covering the alimony and child support, right? It's all planned out. He's the son of a company president, and he himself is one of the executives. His annual income is around $200,000. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's impressive. But wait, can I just ask something? Hold on a second.
Oh, you're jealous, aren't you? That's what this is about?
Just to clarify, the company president is actually your partner's father-in-law.
Huh? What do you mean?
Since he's a son-in-law, it's pretty much guaranteed that once his infidelity is exposed, he'll be divorced and kicked out. I heard that talks are already underway to have him removed from his position as an executive. It sounds like he'll have a tough time remaining with the company after all this.
Wait, what? You're joking, right?
No, I'm serious. They're probably gonna kick him out. The moment his wife finds out, she's not gonna keep him around. Well, in any case, we already put it in writing that he'll pay the alimony and child support in a lump sum. And he's already made that lump sum payment, so we're good there.
Hold on a minute. What if he decides to back out?
I'm not interested in agreeing to either installment payments or a reduction. He has to stick to the original plan.
Tony, wait, that's going to be a problem for me if he changes his mind.
Well, it's not going to be a problem for me, so I'm fine with it. I'll be okay regardless of what he decides to do.
I still prefer not to go through with the divorce. Is there any way we can avoid that?
No way in hell. You're making this harder than it needs to be.
Seriously? You're just going to leave me hanging like this?
From now on, communicate through your lawyer. I don't want to deal with this directly anymore. It's not worth the hassle. See ya.
What am I going to do? I don't have any money right now. This is such a mess. I thought things would be different. I thought I could manage the situation, but now it feels like it's spiraling out of control.
Maybe if you hadn't made those choices, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. You have to think about the consequences of your actions.
Consequences? It's not like I wanted things to turn out this way. You think I planned for my life to become a total disaster? I'm just trying to figure out how to keep my head above water.
You should have thought about that before getting involved in all this. It's not just about you anymore. Mia's future is on the line, and we need to think about what's best for her.
Right, of course, Mia. But how do I take care of her if I'm broke? I can't just wave a magic wand and fix everything.
And that's why you told me to take full custody, right? Maybe it's time to start taking responsibility for your decisions. You need to figure this out on your own. So, it turned out to be a short-term battle during the 2-day holiday, but we managed to settle things somehow. I never expected the process to be so tumultuous, but life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. In the end, a surprising misunderstanding came to light, but since I have the divorce papers here, it's really none of my concern now. I hurriedly submitted them to the city office. It felt oddly liberating. A weight lifted off my shoulders, even amidst the chaos. Later on, it was arranged that my former father-in-law would cover the costs for the alimony and child support. This was a relief because the financial burden could have been overwhelming otherwise. By the way, my former father-in-law also started an investigation into his wife, who had been complicit in their daughter's infidelity. The realization that he had to confront his own family dynamics must have been a painful one. He always seemed to be the pillar of strength, but now his world was crumbling around him. Before long, it was confirmed that she was indeed cheating, which led to a divorce that involves claims for alimony. I can only imagine the conversations that took place behind closed doors, intense, emotional discussions that would leave scars on the family. The fallout from this revelation must have been immense, affecting not only the two of them, but everyone in their immediate circle. It's hard to process the idea of betrayal when it comes from those you trust the most. As a result of all this, Lydia ended up in a position where she had to take out a loan from her father. I can only imagine the weight of that decision hanging over her. There's something profoundly uncomfortable about borrowing money from a parent, especially under such dire circumstances. Now she's responsible for paying it back herself, and I wonder how she feels about this newfound financial responsibility. Does she see it as a necessary step toward independence, or is it just another reminder of how far she's fallen? Meanwhile, my former mother-in-law will have to work to pay off the alimony she owes. This must be a bitter pill for her to swallow, considering she may have never anticipated having to support herself in this way. It's a situation that turns everything she once knew on its head. The irony is palpable. The woman who once held a position of privilege is now facing the consequences of her choices in a way she never thought possible. Right now, she and Lydia are living in a run-down, cheap apartment. I can't help but picture the scene, the peeling wallpaper, the flickering light bulbs, and the cramped space that has become their new reality. Their situation has become so dire that they're practically fighting over the little food they can afford each day. It's a stark contrast to the life they once led, filled with comfort and security. I can imagine the sense of desperation that permeates their home. Lydia never thought it would come to this. I can almost picture the moment when she realized the reality of her situation, having to repay her father while her mother struggles to make ends meet. There must have been a point where she felt all the comfort and security she once had was stripped away. It's a harsh lesson in accountability and the consequences of one's actions. I wonder if she reflects on her choices and how they've led her to this point. When I think about it, Lydia was always a bit naive. She seemed to believe that life would always go her way, that her charm and beauty could get her through any hardship. I remember the times when she would brush off serious conversations, laughing them off as if they were mere jokes. But life isn't a joke, and reality eventually caught up with her. The facade she had built crumbled, and what was left was a stark reminder of her decisions. My former father-in-law, having witnessed his daughter's downfall, decided to take action. He's not the type to let things slide, especially when it comes to family honor. I imagine him sitting at his desk, papers spread out before him, meticulously planning how to address the chaos his family has found itself in. I can almost hear the clatter of his fingers on the keyboard as he gathers evidence against his wife, all while maintaining a stoic expression. There's a sense of determination in his actions, a refusal to let the situation spiral out of control any further. He must have felt a mix of anger and disappointment, not just towards Lydia, but also towards his wife, who he trusted to support their family. It's a betrayal that cuts deep, especially when it involves the very fabric of your family. But he's a man of action, and the moment he realized what was going on, he took the necessary steps to protect himself and, most importantly, his grandchildren. I can only imagine the conversations he had with trusted friends as he sought advice on how to proceed. As for Lydia's mother, she must be feeling the weight of her choices crashing down around her. Once accustomed to a certain lifestyle, she's now facing the reality of having to find a job, something she may not have done in years. The thought of her working to pay off alimony must be a bitter pill to swallow. I wonder if she regrets her decisions, if she realizes the extent of her actions and how they've affected not only her, but also her daughter. Living in that shabby apartment, I can imagine the atmosphere. Tight, suffocating, filled with a sense of defeat. The walls probably have peeling paint and the floors creak with every movement. The two of them, a mother and daughter who once lived in a world of comfort and privilege, now find themselves scavenging for food, fighting over the last scraps as they try to survive day by day. I can picture the frustration and despair that must fill their conversations as they navigate their new reality. I can't help but think about the little moments they must share during this struggle. Do they sit in silence, each lost in their thoughts, or do they argue about who gets to eat what? Perhaps they reminisce about better times, trying to hold on to the memory of the life they once had. I picture them sitting at a small table, divided by the weight of their circumstances, each bite of food a reminder of their current plight. The sadness of their situation must loom over them like a dark cloud, casting a shadow on everything they do. It's almost poetic in a tragic way. The juxtaposition of their past and present lives must be incredibly stark. I wonder if they ever talk about the future. Do they have any dreams left, or has the harshness of reality snuffed them out? Lydia must feel a certain bitterness, knowing that her actions have led to this downfall. It's a hard truth to swallow, but sometimes the lessons we learn are the ones that hurt the most. Lydia's father, meanwhile, is likely finding some satisfaction in the fallout. It's not something I condone, but you can't help but feel that a part of him is relieved to see his wife face consequences for her role in all of this. It's a sense of justice, albeit one that comes at a steep price. He might think that this is what she deserves, that she should suffer for her betrayal. It's a complicated situation, one filled with mixed emotions and conflicting loyalties. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.